Hello, men. How's it hanging? Don't answer that. Have you ever found yourself in the situation where the more that you go for your goals, the more harder it seems to get to attain to it? So, for example, it's like, here's the goal, and there's you, and you're racing, you're racing towards the goal, and it seems to just twop you back to where you started, and you motivate yourself and you do all that mindset training, like you've mindseted yourself out of your mind, you've NLP'd yourself, PNL'd, and you've just done the ice baths and all the breathing and all that, all those spiritual flip-flops and personal development flip-flops and meditations and gratitude lists and all that stuff and yoga poses. I would demo one, but it wouldn't work, trust me. And you've done all that stuff and you've got up really early and you've just done your millionaire morning routine, and you still, no matter what you do, you just can't nail that result that you're looking for. Do you relate to this? Yes or no? Well, if you do, I am here to tell you once again that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. Success is structural, not personal. It's nothing that you're doing, right or wrong, that is causing this result. It's nothing to do with what you're doing. What is ineffective is the structure, is the structure that is holding your situation, yourself and your goal. So don't trust me, trust science, the science. So I'm going to prove this to you using the laws of physics. Yay! So are you ready? Okay, so here is you. Here's you, and you want to create this goal over here. So here you are, and here is this goal. Now, the thing about where you are now is you are not potentially happy with the way everything is right now. Is that correct? Yes or no? Let me just check in with you. Because you want to make something better at some point in the future. For example, you maybe think that once you've got the business success, or once you've got that buff body, or once you've got your life in order, or once you've got that lovely flat to live in, or whatever thing that you want, once you want your business to be profiting or making passive income, whatever it is, that thing that you want, whatever it is, you may be believing that how you are right now is not enough. And when you get to that place over here, then you're going to be okay. And then when you get over here, from over here, then you're going to have what you want. You'll have the success with women that you want, if that's what you want. Does that make sense so far? Now, this is really crucial, this bit. Really invite you to pay attention. The reason why you never quite get to where your goal is, your target, is because there's an underlying factor underneath that's pulling you back. And this is the part that's not your fault. So this is really important. Now I'm going to demonstrate it with an elastic band. Okay. So as I say, structure is the answer. The structure is not personal. The problem is in the structure, not with you. So there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing everything great, but the structure doesn't work. The structure is what's broken, actually. So here's why the structure doesn't work. So where you are now, point A, is that you possibly believe that you're not enough. You're not enough, and that is potentially your identity. If you're coming from the identity of when I get to the goal, when I get to this goal, I will be enough. If you're doing your behavior, your actions in order to resolve the tension here, here's the tension, Here's the tension. Tension seeks resolution. This is a structural law. It's a law of physics. Tension here. If I pull any harder, I'm going to twat this in my face. So tension seeks resolution. So here's the tension. Point A is I feel like I'm not enough, possibly. Because that's why I want to create that thing that's going to make me feel better about myself. But there's a conflict of identity here. And structure seeks resolution. Tension seeks resolution. And it's always going to go down the path of least resistance. In other words, it's just going to end up somewhere in the middle here. So here isn't over there, is it? And here, but there's another factor. There's another factor involved in that. So I'm going to tell you. Now I need another hand actually. So here's point A and here's point E. Here's where you are now. I'm not enough. And that's possibly the identity that's running that. And the identity that's running the when I get to point B, I will feel enough. So that's always oscillating. It's seesawing. It's yes, no, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Another way to understand this is I lose the weight, then I put it back in. I lose the weight, then I put it back on. Or I earn the money, then I piss it all down the wall. I earn the money and I piss it down the plug hole. Or I do really, really well with that bird and then it all goes tits up. Or I do really, really well with that bird and then it goes south. It goes pear-shaped. So this is an oscillating structure, or it's a seesaw pattern. It's a yes, no, hot, cold. And to compensate for that, you might go to compensate for that and cover up how you feel and hide your feelings and numb out into the addictions, into drinking too much, working too much, doing stuff too much that you know isn't good for you, that just makes you feel not good about yourself. But that, doing that stuff, relieves the tension that you pulled out by wanting that good thing. If I reach my goal, then I'll feel good about myself. But if you do the stuff that makes you not feel good, which is to procrastinate, which is to stagnate and do anything else but get into the action that's going to get you to be, then your identity here can be right about not being good enough. If you do all the procrastination, and please understand that this happens below the surface, this happens in the unconscious, because consciously you want the good stuff. Of course you do. I want that for you. That's what I want. I want everybody to be successful and happy and free and doing and going for what they want. However, unconsciously what's running the SH1T show is the need to be right about the identity of I'm not good enough and I'm not capable enough and I'm not perfect enough. And that is what's pushing you back. Can you see this? That's what's pulling you back like a mule that just doesn't want to move. It's that that's pulling you back into procrastination, not you. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with your motivation or your beliefs or your mindsets. If you are in the correct structure, which looks like this, then you just walk from A to B really easily. I repeat, when you get into the correct structure where you don't have to compensate for not feeling good enough by doing stuff that makes you feel good enough, if you're okay just as you are, without needing that thing to complete you, then you can just walk over here. It's easy. Do you understand this? Yes or no? From yes, from you're okay as you are, to I want that thing that just appreciates who I am already, it's really, really easy to go to there. All right, so in summary, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you or your attitude or your catitude or your mindset or your your mental health, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. What's wrong is the structure that you might be creating in. If you're creating from a sense of I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect enough, and I'm not capable enough, and if what you're doing, what your goal is, what you're targeting towards is to resolve that tension, is to resolve the conflict of I'm not good enough, then that's never going to resolve. It's always going to go ding dong, up, down, hot, cold, fat, thin, rich, poor, feel good about myself, feel shit about myself. It's always going to do that. Does that sound familiar? Yes or no? And what's really key is that you just take that structure that doesn't work and just put it to one side. You don't have to fix it. Just put it to one side and instead create a structure that does work. And a structure that does work is just to go for what you want, because that's what you want, not because you have to prove that you're good enough. So if you're not working at the identity level, which is an unconscious job, if you resolve the conflict about your identity and do underground work, which I can assist you with, to really remember, believe and know that you're okay just as you are, because you cannot be good enough or bad enough. You just are. Does that make sense? Yes or no? This is crucial. You cannot be good enough, any more good enough or any less good enough. You just are, because you're whole and you're perfect and you're complete. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a blah, 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 bleeper blob. You're not. You're not. Society is in a dysfunctional structure. Society has made you believe that there's something wrong with you so they can sell you more stuff. But I'm here to say, all of that, put it to one side. It may have been created by well-intending, well-meaning people, but it's not true. Is it? Yes or no? You tell me. You tell me. How is this landing in your mind? So I am here for you. I am here for you. I'm here to assist you to create in a structure that is advancing. Instead of the seesaw, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, from that same word, you can create a wheel. You can build a wheel. And you can get into a structure that works. And every time you get a win, it amplifies. And every time you get another win, it appreciates, and more and more and more. And every day you're going to have evidence that you're working towards your end result, because you can, because you want to, because you choose to, because you are enough already, because you understand that on a conscious level and on an unconscious level. And that's how you actually do get to be. So, if you want to stop all the time-wasting, sabotaging patterns of trying to, but never quite getting there, and I just want to save you time and money, unless you restructure the way that you operate, that's always going to play out. That's always going to play out to varying degrees of splendidness or shizzleness. So if you want to put that to one side and get into a structure that really, really works for you, because there's nothing wrong with you and you're whole, perfect and complete right now, and you are so powerful and you're a powerful creator and you can create whatever goal you want and you can get to it, and I can show you how to do that, then book a call with me and let's talk about it, because I want to hear from you. So I'm going to put my very sought after limited offer. I don't have much time, but this is on a first come, first serve. You very lucky boy if you can get on a call with me, then do that, because I'm here to assist you. I'm here to serve you. Okay, bye for now. See you tomorrow.